Time now for our prime number segment here on Cold Hard Football Facts on TPN. Hi everybody, I'm Butch Stearns. Kerry Byrne alongside from Cold Hard Football Facts. In our prime number segment every week, Kerry, we take a look at one individual player, the prime number, and look at his performance. And nobody had a better rushing performance last week, maybe not all year, than Willis McGahee for the Broncos. 20 carries, 163 yards against the Raiders, 2 touchdowns, 8.2 yards per carry. And in your rusher ratings for Week 9, he was clearly number one.
Clearly number one. We have what we call it rusher rating. It's basically kind of the formula for passer rating, which is a little complex, I understand it, but it does spit out a very valuable number. And we do the same thing for running backs. What's your average per attempt? How many touchdowns do you score? Do you not fumble? And we spit it all together in a number. And his rusher rating on Sunday was almost 151, which is near perfect. It's kind of the same thing as passer rating. There's a proverbial perfect number of 158.3. And he's really incredible. And it's a great stat, especially if you're a football junkie and want to know who's really playing the best, who's really running the ball best. Because, for example, the Eagles last year had a great running team, but they fumbled all the time.
Right.
That hurt their rusher rating and hurt their ability to win games. So we look at that. Those plays, you know, people look, they're number 2 in rushing. All it means is they ran for more yards than all but one team. But if they're fumbling all the time, that doesn't matter. So we look, you know, what stats help you win and lose games, and that rusher rating is one of them.
All right, we'll get to Tim Tebow in a second. Your guy, John Quinn, John the Mighty Quinn, wrote an article about Tebow, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's look closer at the numbers. Now, Mike Shanahan's gone. The days of Denver plugging any running back in and that system of zone offensive blocking, whether it was Orlandis Gary or whoever.
It was amazing that run.
Oh, my goodness. You and I could have run for 125 yards. But look at these numbers in the game last week. You don't see these numbers in games unless you got Michael Vick or a Tim Tebow at quarterback. 38 carries, 299 yards rushing, 7.9 yards an attempt, and 2 rushing touchdowns, both by McGahee. I mean, they won that game with Oakland stuffing the box, trying to make Tebow throw to start. And Tim Tebow helped win that game with his legs. He rushed for 118 yards.
Yeah, and only a few carries, too. I mean, had a great average per attempt. You know, the Broncos-Raiders series has been interesting in recent years because last year the Raiders won big twice, shoving the ball down the throat of the Broncos. And it's rare in this day and age of the NFL or where games are won, and they've always been won by passing, but teams pass so much more often now. This is kind of a bit of Stone Age football. And McGahee had a big day, Tebow had a big day, and it added up to a rare day in which a team just pounded another team into submission and put up big points.
So let's go to John Quinn's article on Cold Hard Football Facts and talk about Tim Tebow as a quarterback. Where are you at with Tebow as a quarterback? What's your opinion?
I believe. I'm a Tebow guy.
Yeah, no, meaning what? You believe that he's a legitimate or can be a legitimate NFL quarterback, or that you can win with him?
Absolutely. You can win with him, and he can be a legit NFL quarterback. I think you got to give the guy a chance.
Well, wait a minute. The numbers go all against that.
No, they don't. They don't. Absolutely not. Tim Tebow is the most accurate, prolific passer in the history of the Southeastern Conference. I realize passing well in college does not equate to passing well in the pros. Okay. But his numbers compared to Peyton Manning's blew him away. He had a much higher touchdown percentage, much lower interception percentage, much more accurate, the most accurate passer in Southeastern Conference history, the best touchdown-interception ratio in SEC history. His passer rating was like 25 points better than Peyton Manning's. We're talking Peyton Manning, not some throwaway SEC quarterback. And mind you, Peyton Manning also played with great talent, sent 3 wide receivers to the NFL in the first 2 rounds. And his team won the national title the year he left. That was a talented Tennessee team. And Tebow blew him away, more accurate, got the ball down the field better, more touchdowns, fewer interceptions. The guy deserves a chance to be able to prove he can do it in the NFL.
All right, and he's getting the chance. There was all talk last week. It might be his last start for a while, and Orton was going to come in, and after that first half, it felt that way. But how do you quantify this? I am a Tebow guy. I kind of like the guy. I know Denver fans like him. I am rooting for him. I think he's got some of that fluty factor that despite all his misgivings, despite all his shortcomings, the guy just knows how to win. And he proved that again last week. Is there a number to quantify that?
Well, the number is the Broncos are 3-3 with Tebow as a starter and 4-14 over the last 2 years with Kyle Orton as a starter. Same guys. And they're winning. They've won half. In a lousy team, by the way, Butch, that Denver team is one of the worst pass defenses in football. We talk about how you can't win in the NFL with bad pass defense. Well, Tim Tebow is 500 playing with some of the worst defenses in football. I just think the guy he's a better passer than people give him credit for. I think people worry too much about the throwing motion. Has it been a little ugly at times? Yeah, but you know what? Peyton Manning threw 28 picks and went 3-13 as a rookie in the NFL. Rookie quarterbacks, and for all practical intents and purposes, he's still a rookie. He's only started, 6 games now. Rookie quarterbacks struggle in the NFL. I think if by the end of the year, that'll all be, we won't be worrying about his throwing motion too much.
He is the lead troll from Cold Hard Football Facts. I say that with great affection because they are the trolls at CHFF. It's Cold Hard Football Facts on TPN.